Okay. Okay. So we we kind of owe a favor on this. I was already in the middle of some stuff, but you know what I'm saying, you do what you can for your people, so that's what we're gonna do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SNORTBUCKS Coffee Company, the best beverage company. Here we go. So, so I was kind of enjoying my afternoon, late afternoon, I should say, slash evening, playing some Death by Daylight. I really wasn't enjoying it. That's just a torture fest right now. But the new animatronic, or the Springtrap, is fun. I'm kind of enjoying some of his mechanics and shit. I'm shit at the game, but I'm having a pretty decent time with it. And I was watching, apparently, Foodie Beauty kidnapping kittens from some park and shit, and then trying to justify it, and it's a mess. I might actually do a video on that. I might, because Jesus Christ. Anyway. But Diggs asked me to do him a solid, which Diggs very rarely asks me for anything, to be honest. So, you know, why not? Why not? Okay, so let me give you guys a bit of context, I guess. Apparently, Alt, big up the Alt from that being said, and what's that? WPIG 1651, I believe. He apparently had a stream earlier today. I guess one of his watch-alongs. There's an interesting discussion that came up, which coincides with a video that I'm already working on. And Diggs was like, hey, would you go over it? Now, I don't know too much else outside of that. He wants me to go in blind, so I will. And that's that. I will give you a bit of basically context of what I think on at least what I know about the subject, and then we'll go from there. Because Diggs really wants me to get this shit done right away, I guess, which I thought a video went up yesterday. Well, it'll be yesterday for you guys, but today I swore a video already went up. But I don't know, whatever. Like I said, I don't mind it. Like I said, Diggs has been good to me and shit. He doesn't ask me for anything. What's the, you know, whatever. This was important enough for him to ask me to do this, then I'll do it. So big ups to Diggs. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go into my favorite segment. Hopefully your guys' favorite segment as well, hopefully. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my TED Talk. Now, yet again, I don't know what the actual video in question is. It was from, like I said, Alt stream from earlier today that I didn't get a chance to watch. But it is on the subject of, so I'm told, about DSP's kick deal. And as of late, DSP, quote unquote, forgetting to enable the multi-stream feature on Kick to basically let him know that he is multi-streaming. Now, the way DSP had explained the deal initially, if you're multi-streaming, you can be partnered with Kick. They'll let you multi-stream on multiple platforms. If you do multi-stream, you get less money than if you were streaming on there exclusively. I think Kick is one of the only places that do that, but don't hold me to that, because I don't know. I've never used Kick before. Anywho, DSP has messed up a couple times. 2 times, maybe possibly 3. I feel like he's had multiple warnings. Just for context, I'm recording this on May 28th. I know on Monday, Memorial Day, he got a warning. I think he got a warning on Sunday. That would be on Sunday. So Sunday and Monday he got a warning. And I feel like he got warned before that. I can't remember if it was on like a random night stream or something. It may have been that Sunday though. But I remember him getting warned before, and he was like, thank you, Kick. Oh, thank you, Kick support. Over and over again with that bullshit. And I think he's doing it on purpose. I honestly think what DSP is doing is he is trying to test the waters and see what he can get away with. I think DSP knows that he's not making the money, the full amount, if you will, because he is multi-streaming, whereas if he was running this shit exclusively. I think he wants to see if he can get away with it. I think, honestly, if he could turn on his stream and go 2 or 3 hours, and then someone, maybe from Twitch support, or Kick support, I'm sorry, come in and say, hey, Phil, you need to, you know, enable multi-streaming. We can detect that. And we see that you're not doing it. Oh, okay, no problem. Sorry about that. I think he's trying to test the waters, whether it's a physical person or whether it's an automated system. Now, think about it. I'm pretty sure that he now knows it's an automated system. So I think that's what it is. I think he's trying to test the system out. He's trying to test the boundaries and see what's what. Now, with that being said, I don't know if I can honestly say it's part of some, oh, no pun intended. I don't know if this is part of some type of grand scheme on DSP's part. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far with it. But if DSP can cheat the system, he will cheat the system. Quite literally. And yet again, he can always plead ignorance, you know what I'm saying, one way or another. Quick example, and then let's get on to this and see what this is. Because I don't know how long it is, so I have no clue what I'm working with. If DSP is doing it purposely, he can, because they keep giving him a notification saying, hey, check your emails. The email's going to tell him, hey, enable multi-streaming, whatever. He can literally plead ignorant. He can be like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm running 2 streams or multi-streaming or whatever. I'm not used to it. I've always been sent an email to let me know, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. So when I get the email, I just immediately enable it. I just didn't know, and I apologize. And he'll plead whatever. If he's doing it on purpose, or no, if that's if he's, sorry, let's reword this. No, I got it right the first time. That's if he is trying to basically get over on the system. If he's not, and let's say, I don't know, let's say he did forget. Let's say he's just not being mindful. Let's say he's just not being prepared or whatever the hell. Or whatever. Same concept. He'll just plead ignorance. So if he's doing it on purpose, hey, I didn't know. I didn't fully understand. Sorry, I'm still new to this multi-streaming bullshit, even though it's been a few months at this point. I'm my bad. I've always been given a notification, so on and so forth. If it is an accident or whatever, or if he's, you know what I'm saying, just fucking being lazy, he's in a routine where he's used to them reminding him, whatever the case may be, he'll plead ignorance either which way. So it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter. But I think he's just trying to test the system to see what he can get away with. He's a scumbag. He's always done it. He's done it on every platform he's ever been on. So why would this be any different? I think it's really as easy as that's the argument you'll see in a later video that I have coming up. I think it's really as easy as that. I think he's just trying to, it's a stress test just to see what he gets away with, to be honest. I don't think it's any more cut and dry than that. But that's just me. Like I said, let's go ahead and hop into it. I just wanted to give you that little bit because, like I said, I don't know fully what I'm working with. But let's go ahead and jump in this. We'll see what's what. It'll probably be short, maybe, depending on what I'm working with here. And that'll be that. And then I can get back to Death by Daylight and whatnot. But that's all I really think this comes down to. I think he's purposely fucking around trying to find out. It is what it is. To be honest, I don't see the kick arc. I don't know exactly when it's going to end, if it ends or whatever, whenever he decides to leave, whatever the case may be. But I'd like to express to you, I should say, that it is very little money. And DSP is very, very aware of this, right? Most of the Kino Casino dents have already been, basically thinned out, plus or minus a straggler or two. YouTube views have been slowing up. It is what it is. And since this is like an hourly paycheck type situation for him or whatever, he's going to try to squeeze it for whatever he can. So if he can get away with it a day or two a week, why not? And like I said, just plead ignorance after the fact. I understand if any of you right now are getting ready to type, oh, well, DSP wants to be the victim. DSP is always going to be the victim of his own story and the hero, which is what usually screws him over. The reality is, as it pertains to being the victim, no matter whether he's doing it on purpose or not, it's never going to be his fault. It'll never be his fault. You saw that with the John and Howard situation as it pertains to Respect the Pack. You saw that with Twitch multiple times. You saw that with the partner program on YouTube, Machinima in particular. Theoretically with Curse, where he wanted them to bend the rules for him when all those quote unquote troll reports were coming in, and he wanted Curse to just disregard all of that and let him just keep going. DSP is, I understand his autistic type bullshit scheduling and his everything needs to be a certain type of way or whatever. But DSP is not someone who completely and utterly coincides to the rules or what needs to be done and how it should be done and this, that, and the third. It's funny because he wants to be treated equally, but he wants to be looked at as if he was unique or special or whatever the fuck. Keep that in mind. So anyway, we'll go ahead and check this out. We'll see what it is and what comes out of it, and then we will move along accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to my TED Talk, and let's go ahead and get started. let's go ahead and get started. Let's see here. Let's do a coffee shop situation. What else? Do that. Do a coffee type of situation type deal. And let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Should be right here.
And we will continue.
All right. Okay, so this is what we're working with. Big ups to Alt and WPIG 1651. I'm sure that the link will be down in the description. And let's see here. What's the title of this? Big ups to Diggs for clipping this. Let's see here. WPIG debate on Darkside Phil forgetting to turn on multi-streaming on Kick. And this, yet again, it's from today, basically May 28th of 2025. Yet again, I'm sure the stream itself will be linked down in the description. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get it going. Let's see what we got.
And we will continue on. Okay.
Okay, we're not gonna beg anymore, right? Oh, so that happened. Oh, that happened again, or no? 12:21 p.m. This happened again yesterday.
Okay, big ups to SNORTBUCKS. Okay, I wasn't expecting SNORTBUCKS to be up here, but big ups. Let's see. By the way, apparently Kick isn't happy with Pig Roach now. That he's being paid by the hour. He's forgetting to activate. He's forgetting the activation during the multi streams. Maybe he forgets because it's a way of making more money. To be honest with you, like I said, this has happened like 2 times, maybe 3 at this point. My thing is, after the first time, he should have been given some type of disciplinary action, and they clearly didn't. So it is what it is. And if it is automated, they probably don't even have time to do it. So one could make the argument that DSP is just trying to slip through the cracks and just see when he's going to get away with it, if he can get away with it. If it's an automated system, he can automatically hide behind that. So he never really has a reason to activate it because what the fuck? The automated system will let him know either which way. Another thing too, and I don't stream on Kick, so I can't tell you. I have an account, but I've never streamed over there before. Don't they have, or shouldn't they have, I would say they should have, but don't they have some type of feature where, you know, it's like, hey, enable multi-streaming every time you go live, like something that you can click or whatnot? I don't know if DSP says something the other day about there's a prompt he has to hit or whatever, but there should be something in your settings. If you are someone who multi-streams, you can already have the preset on your settings, and then when you get ready to start to stream up, you don't even have to think about it. You can just do it. And then you can go back and change it, you know, after the fact later or whatever. That's what they should have. And maybe they do have it, and maybe DSP don't know. Yet again, back to him playing ignorant. Oh, I have no clue. I'm not sure. I you know, I didn't know. I didn't think about it. Same concept.
Hey guys, because I know it happened on Sunday night, but it happened again. Come on, man. I'm still,
like I said, I'm wondering if it happened before Sunday. So we know for sure. I know for sure it happened Monday, right? Alt saying that it happened the Sunday or the day before, literally. I feel like the very first time it happened was like a week ago, maybe, but maybe not. Like I said, don't hold me to it.
I'm in camp. Philip is just stupid and forgets to do it. But if it happens again, I mean, they're at the point where they're like, all right, fuck it then, man. All right, man. Clearly,
here, let's bring that back.
This happened again yesterday, guys. Because I know it happened on Sunday night, but it happened again. Come on, man. I'm in camp. Philip is just stupid and forgets to do it. But if it happens again, I mean, they're at the point where they're like, all right, fuck it then, man.
I don't think so. I don't think I don't think so. I don't think he's just stupid and he forgot. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he knows there's some type of differential between what he's going to get paid or whatever. I don't think he just forgot. I honestly think he's trying to stress test the system to see if eventually will he fall through the cracks. Will an actual admin go in there? Will he keep getting the automated system? Don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here and trying to give DSP too much credit, but Darkside Phil is a piece of shit and whatnot. And you should never underestimate a scammer. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? A liar, a fucking absolute criminal-minded piece of shit. A fish got to swim. And if he can condense out of their fucking Social Security and disability checks and this, that, and the third. You're telling me he wouldn't try to find any type of loophole as it pertains to on kick? And sooner than later, you know what I'm saying, find it? The excuse has already been preloaded, as Tevin would say. Oh, big ups and praise be. But like, so the excuse, if he gets caught, is already preloaded. You know what I mean? And the fact that he's been willing to do it, let's say up to this particular point, it's been twice, he clearly hasn't necessarily learned his lesson, at least not yet. You know what I mean? And if it is an automated system, maybe he'll give himself a couple days, see what's what, and then maybe he'll try it again and find out. But if it is automated, unless there's a set amount of times that they have until they actually get an administrator to come in there and actually discipline you or whatever, well, he may just keep doing the email deal until otherwise stated. Which is actually interesting too, because if they can detect that, right, then the guy who keeps putting him on the front page or whatever, whoever it is, why haven't they come in there and disciplined his ass yet? Something to think about.
All right, man. Clearly, even if it's not on purpose, you need to be punished for this. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like,
and the thing is, it's structured like an automated message too, and it kind of looks like the same message he got the first time this happened. But don't hold me to that.
but guys, I see you saying 4 times, 3 times.
Okay, okay. There's somebody in that chat that kind of is on the same page with me, because I feel like it's happened at least 3 times. I don't know about 4, but at least 3 times. So it happened Memorial Day on Monday, right? So, and we know for sure, and now it's been confirmed to happen that Sunday. I feel like it's happened sometime before that as well. And here's the thing. He's been multi-streaming for a while. How are we just now forgetting to enable it? He didn't have a problem doing it before. He did, but now all of a sudden, through the whole Kino Casino arc, well, not the whole Kino Casino arc, but most of the Smart Guys arc, he did it and did it without any problems and whatnot. There was no issues or whatever. Why is it all of a sudden an issue? Why is it all of a sudden a problem?
Guys, he's got fired from every single job he did. Don't you see a world where he's like, Philip, did you forget to turn in your time card this week? And it would happen 4 times in a row every fucking week. Okay, yes, Philip. All right, we're going to put you on the ACE certification track now, going forward next week. And what's going to happen is you're going to go to your dad in the morning, and he's going to put you in the broom closet, and you're going to study to get an ACE certification. It's really important.
Okay, so the ACE certification thing. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's one of those corrective classes and whatnot for people who need it. I don't know if that's what that is or if he's just memeing it up. If it is, that would be hilarious. But I would also tell you, too, if he was having a problem clocking in at the helicopter company, I could see they would probably want to just push that to his father and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying, handle that, talk to him, this, that, and the third. But then again, keep in mind what ended up getting his ass fired is dude was coming in late, he was coming in drunk, you know what I'm saying? He was having all kinds of issues and problems that got his ass eventually canned from there. So, but I'm sure, I wouldn't be surprised if the ACE certification class or course, let's say that course, was used to try to correct some of his behavior by giving him something to do, something to strive for, to make him feel like, you know, he somehow accomplished something. Because let's be honest, all corporations have some type of class of that way or structure, to be honest. Because let's be honest, he's not built, nor was he built to step into his father's shoes, not just at the helicopter company, but in the military as well. And I'm working on that video too, actually. I think one of the reasons why let me save it. I think one of the reasons why, though, I just said I'm gonna save it and I'm gonna still talk about it. One of the reasons why DSP didn't go to the military is twofold. One, I think he was scared. I honestly think he was scared. And 2, I think the idea of the recruiter may actually have some control or influence over him bothered him. And that's why he gave up on it. But I honestly think it was because he was scared. I honestly think he was scared that he was going to go into that, you know, he may see live combat. He may have been just scared that he was going to fail because his father was a Marine. So, you know, obviously DSP ain't going into the Marines, and when he probably gone into the Army or some shit. But he even then, I wouldn't be surprised if he failed boot camp. I honestly wouldn't be surprised that he would fail boot camp. Do I think DSP could have done the book work? Sure. I don't think he could have done any of the physical shit though, at all. So, you know what I'm saying? I know there's stuff floating around about confrontation, this, that, and the third. I honestly don't think he could stand another man yelling in his face and he'd have to sit there and take it. And that's not necessarily confrontation, being confrontational or whatever, but I don't think he can handle that. And that you're going in there with guys that are probably legit tough guys, you know, before they've even decided to get into the military. He would get punked just like Mike Watts and Jaha did to his ass in that parking lot. So he just wasn't built for it. And to be honest with you, just to close this part off, it's a good thing he didn't go to the military, because he'd have gotten people killed. He would have gotten people killed either through friendly fire or some type of decision making that would have gotten somebody fucked up, if not himself. More importantly, he may have gotten killed in basic. He may have killed himself in basic training, for all we know. So it's not like Forrest Gump in this bitch or Forrest Gout. He would have either gotten himself hurt or he would have gotten other people hurt or killed. So trust me, the military did not lose anything by Philip Paul Brunel not making it or not deciding to join up or sign up or whatever the fuck. But that's just my opinion.
And it costs us millions of dollars to train you, okay? So make sure you handle that. That's your new assignment next week, right? Like, that's the kind of person he is. I'm not saying, I just don't think he would do something that is so obviously breaking the rules.
But yet again, he didn't mind telling Curse to basically let him slide on the troll reports. Like, I mean, we know he did that. He literally told us that he did that. You know what I'm saying? Look at what he did with fucking Machinima and shit, with his little bit of income, you know what I'm saying, with his little income dwindling or whatever, and look at how he did all that crazy ass shit to try to get a hold of somebody and literally talked his way out of the fucking job. Look at that nonsense. Like, DSP is probably breaking some type of rule every fucking day. I mean, look at the whole thing about the restreaming, or not restreaming, the, what was a blatant thing that he did? And I'm sure he tried to play ignorant on it, but the shit with Twitch, the 24-hour embargo shit. Look at that. And what, just in case you don't know, I'm sure you guys all know. You guys are initiated, but for those who aren't, all right, back in the day when DSP was on Twitch, I can't remember if it was because people were uploading the pre-streams onto YouTube before he could. That's when they were like 15 minutes long, 20 minutes long, or it was when, I want to say it was South Park Stick of Truth, and it was the segment of the game, the sex scene basically, and the whole ball swinging shit that you have to avoid or whatever. I think someone had clipped that from his stream and uploaded it before he did. Got a bunch of views, people were talking about it, and they got back to DSP, and he got mad that someone uploaded it before he did, and that's when he chose to break the embargo. Now it comes down to two things. Either A, he didn't know about the embargo, or B, he didn't give a fuck because the trolls and whatever else beat him to the punch, so he had justification, at least in his own mind, to do it anyway. So, come on, let's not act like DSP hasn't done shit to his own deficit to get ahead of something else. You know what I mean? Let's be serious with each other for a bit.
Philip likes to be the victim, guys. And when you do...
DSP will set himself up to be the victim no matter what. That's not like, you know, a Herculean task that he can't accomplish. He's going to be the victim and the hero in his own story, in his own mind, no matter what way the tide or the wind blows, I should say.
Do things like this, you can't be the victim. I know that might be strange to anyone new to these parts, where he's like, well, he begs every day. Doesn't he know that's bad? No.
Yeah, I mean, it's bad, but it's bad in a different way. Like, it's just self-defecation at that point. It's like cutting your own nose off to spite your own face. Like, I get what all's saying, like, but that's a different, like, using begging as the example, that's a little bit different.
He has justified that in his own dented mind as not being bad. That's a little different. But this is an open and shut case. This is a bad thing to do, and you are breaking the rules.
Wait, I have a counter to that. Think about what happened when DSP got ended up getting what should have been an indefinite suspension from Twitch, when he had sat there and commented on that guy who basically took a jab at him in his chat, right? Remember the guy with the blue hair? I think he had a blue beard or some bullshit. And DSP purposely pointed the guy out, this, that, and the third, and whatnot. I can't remember what they hit him for that affliction or that violation. And he was supposed to get an indefinite suspension. The indefinite suspension turned into like 72 hours, and then I think it eventually turned into 24 hours, whatever the case may be. DSP knew what that was, but he was already justifying it because he was like, this is my stream, this is my chat. He came in saying something, I should have a right to defend myself. And then the Twitch person basically explained to him, yeah, you can't do that. Oh, well, well, I was just defending my, you can't sit there and literally try to go at someone personally for a situation for an opinion. You can't do that. That's literally targeted harassment at that point. And DSP went into a whole spiel about that, and he's like, oh, well, they said I can defend myself. They just said I can't point out, I can't make fun of their hair color or whatever. Yet again, DSP knew what the fuck he was doing. But yet again, he never thought he would get disciplined. He always thought that he was going to either slip through the cracks, or it was something small and it would just get brushed off. Someone might send him like a small email saying, hey, don't do this again. Smack on the hoof, and he was just going to keep it pushing.
He doesn't like doing those things because then he can't be the victim, right? So I don't think he's doing this. I know there's another level 2, right? There's a level 2 thought that is he is doing it on purpose so he has a reason to leave Kick when they turn on him.
I don't know about that. I would say that I don't even know if DSP's time is really up on Kick for that. I don't think he's really worth it as it pertains to the partner program. And they may eventually push him out of it because his views are shit. But then again, keep in mind, this is the same company, meaning Kick, that doesn't even pass out $1 million contracts anymore. I'll try to give you guys a bit of context as it pertains to what I'm saying here. So Aiden Ross, if you guys know who he is, you know who he is. There's a bunch of dudes that have been getting fucked up on Kick or Twitch, and they keep going to him for deals. And for a while, he was passing around these $1 million deals like they were passing out pancakes and shit. Well, the last dude that he passed a $1 million contract to, the guy can't even break 500 live viewers on his stream. So Aiden publicly came out and said, yo, I can't hook anybody else up with any more deals because either A, they know that you guys are botting views, or B, you guys just aren't bringing anybody over here to warrant it. And there's a dude who's from, what is that guy's name? Because he's beefing with some chick who's mad at Kai because she's not participating in that Kai college thing. And that chick she runs around biting people and trying to emasculate men and do all this other shit. And she just seems like a headache. Seems like a problem. So I can understand why they wouldn't want to put her on. I don't care how talented she is. When dudes have to go off and get fucking tetanus shots because you're running around biting them on some weird shit, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem. I don't care how talented she is. You don't do that shit. It's bad enough what they think about women like you, and you want to go ahead and add that to the problem. That's a whole nother question, a whole nother thing for a whole nother day. That's a whole nother thing. But the point being is that if you're not living up to the expectations, they're not going to reward you for it. DSP is kind of in the same situation. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get dropped out of the Kick the Kick managed program or whatever it is, where he gets to collect his his little 9-to-5 check or whatever, because he's just not producing the numbers. That's why he's so desperate to get gifted subs over there. So it looks like there's still some type of income coming in to justify him getting paid by the hour. But even if they do up and just drop him out of the partner program, so what? He'll still be able to get gifted subs. Who gives a shit? And though I've heard that there are additional features that Twitch may have that might be coming to Kick. I mean, it's in Kick's benefit to make that available to everybody, just like Twitch is making certain things available. Having regular streamers being able to have, I think they'll be able to get bits. I think they'll be able to get ads, and I think everything else is affiliate and up. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about a lot of what ifs, and I'm speculating a lot here. So his particular example, I'm not really sure about, but it doesn't matter. Either way, Phil's going to try to make himself a victim no matter what. So I don't know if leaning on the argument of, well, he just wants to be made out the victim, I don't know if that's a strong enough argument. But we'll see.
I think that's giving him way too much credit. Philip doesn't think that much.
Scamming the system I don't think is overthinking it, to be honest, given DSP's track record. It's not really that deep. It really isn't. Like, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, DSP knows he would make more money by the hour if multi-streaming wasn't enabled. Well, you know what I'm saying? I'll say that I forgot this one time, right? And we'll see what happens. He does it. Oh, I got an email alert. Okay, no problem. I'll fix it. I'll fix it, Kick, right away. Right away, Kick. I'll fix it right away. I'm right on that, sir. I'm right on it right away. The next day, same concept. He's already been notified once. Oh, the second time they notified me again. Oh man, I'm sorry, Kick. Kick support. Thank you, Kick support. I'll go ahead and get on it again. And then, like I said, I'm pretty confident that DSP pointed out that, hey, this looks like an automated message. This doesn't look like a person. It's an automated message saying to check my email. The email tells me, hey, you don't have multi-streaming enabled. Please enable it, or we can't do such and such, such and such. And then he does it again. So that's at least twice. But then again, like I said, I think it's happened at least 3 times. If it has, then he already has an understanding. He's gotten some pretty valuable information. Don't be wrong. I'm not making DSP out to be some fucking genius, because he's the furthest thing from that. He's a fucking dent. But what he knows, at least what we all know, I should say, is that if he doesn't have multi-streaming enabled when he's supposed to, it'll be a little bit of time that happens between when he starts his system and the notification comes to him. We also know that when the notification comes to him, it's automated. On top of that, we know that the automated message is going to tell him, hey, check your email. It's not a live person saying, hey, you don't have multi-streaming enabled. Either enable it, or we're going to have to do this. He knows that it's an automated message. He knows that the automated message is basically to tell him to check his email. He knows the email is going to tell him to turn his shit on. In the story. And he's basically walking away clean with, oh, I didn't know, oh, I forgot, whatever. It's really as point and shoot as that. So either A, he's going to keep doing it until he actually gets disciplined, like a real administrator comes in there, or B, he shapes up. We'll see. Unless the 3 warnings that he's been given, when the end of the month happens, he finds out that those 3 streams he didn't get paid. Then we'll really find out what's what. But for now, he's gotten himself at least a little bit of information to understand what the situation is. That's not really deep thinking. That's just basic shit. And now keep in mind, DSP is still a dent. But it is very basic information.
About things, and he doesn't run games like that, guys. He's not even smart enough to do that. You know what I mean?
I'll also say too, and I mean this for any lolcow, you should never underestimate a lolcow. You should never underestimate a lolcow. And don't be wrong, I've been criticized in the past, and rightfully so, of giving DSP too much credit. But you should never underestimate a lolcow. You should never underestimate anybody, to be honest. In DTA, don't trust anybody is a thing too. Like I said, anybody has the capability of being a lolcow. You know what I'm saying? You just can't put things past people. I mean, it's not about being smart, right? Or being smart enough. Is DSP shady enough to try to get away with something like that? That's all I'm saying.
So, I think he forgets to turn it off every single time. Right? And Chuck Berry says he's such a persnickety rule follower that he made fun of Twitter, changed to X, and then 1 week later called it X because that's what he thought it should be called. Right? That's how much of a rule follower he is. Oh, you're supposed to call it X? Okay, well, I'm calling it X now.
If that's the case, if he's such a stickler for the rules, then why does he have a hard time forgetting that, hey, if I don't enable this thing, I could possibly not get paid that day. Make that make sense, if that's really the case. You know what I'm saying? If he's really willing to toe the company line, why isn't he doing it? And then it's funny, now that I think about it, DSP is so quick to accuse people of not doing the right thing, not doing their jobs properly, this, that, and the third. He literally depends on an automated system to tell him to turn his shit on so he can get his daily paycheck. That's all I'm saying. And I think that's all most people are saying, at least whatever side you choose in this argument. That's my thoughts. That's my thought. I don't think it's pure laziness. I think pure laziness is a nice, it's a convenient side to stand on, to be honest. And I think yet again, even DSP would ride with that rather than actually owning up to what he's doing. But I honestly think he's just trying to stress test the system to see what he can get away with.
That's what I'm saying. Don't expect 4D chess from a 1D chess thinker.
We're not even really playing chess, to be honest with you. But I get what you're saying. We're not even playing chess. But I don't know if it's really that deep of a thought, though, to be honest. I don't think what Speed proposed is that serious. You know what I mean? It's just a scumbag being a scumbag. You know what I mean? If he would go out of his way to milk his wife before Mike Klum or anybody else could, who's to say that he wouldn't risk it? And then yet again, if he does get caught, what's he going to say? Oh, hey, I forgot, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't understand the rules, I'm sorry. Those are three things that he's done before on other platforms or in other situations. What makes it any different here? Let's go here. Quick history lesson. Lore or a lore dive, if you will. Think back to when he got kicked off of blip.tv. You guys remember that, for those of you who are initiated. In the letter that they gave him that he read out on stream, he literally threatened Blip by saying, hey, I got 100,000 people that followed me over to your platform. You wouldn't want them to leave because you guys kicked me out of your program, would you? That's a threat. If he was bold enough to say that, if he was bold enough to put that out there, you're telling me that he wouldn't sit there and try to stress test Kick and see what he can get away with? Let's go even further. Think about what happened during that PlayStation situation. Quick synopsis. So he was playing Mortal Kombat, I think, and some guy called him out for him blowing up at his chat over that Panda Lee situation. Right? You guys are sitting there arguing with my girlfriend and you piss me the fuck off. You guys know what I'm talking about. And some guy in Mortal Kombat called him out on it. I think it was on PlayStation. What did DSP do? He sat there and called the fucking piggies together to basically spam this guy on PlayStation so he couldn't use the system anymore. So he didn't have a problem with pig whistling to go after people that annoyed him or pissed him off. And that's clearly not the right thing to do. And he still did it. And he didn't get any repercussions from it from Sony, but he damn sure got it from the internet. So, I mean, and you could say, or make the argument, that, oh, well, all of this is situational. Which, keep in mind, this is all just me theorizing anyway. It's all speculation. But you could say it's all situational. And that'd be a fair point to make. But let's not act like DSP is not above breaking the rules out of greed, anger, or otherwise.
That's what I say. I just think he's a lazy bitch, and he doesn't click the button every time. Right? That's what I think.
And yet again, that's a possibility. To be honest, that is a possibility, but I don't think that's what the case is, though. That's just my opinion, though. But I don't think that's what the case is. I think it's literally he's doing it out of pure greed, just to see what he can get away with. Why wouldn't he? He's a scumbag. DSP is a scumbag. Why wouldn't he try to do that shit?
But who knows? We're all just guessing anyway, so that's what makes it fun.
Indeed.
Guys, Ludwig Von has good questions here about this debate. I'm liking this debate. He only followed rules he agrees with. He used to upload to YouTube immediately, despite it being against Twitch terms of service. Good point. All right, a good point. That is true. I think though that was when laziness. Okay, I got to think of the levels here because I think.
But that wasn't about laziness though. Like I said, we already spoke about that earlier. That was him trying to get ahead of the people who were re-uploading his stuff onto the channel before he could. That's what that was. Like I said, it was either the South Park Stick of Truth situation, the sex scene part, or it was because people were uploading basically his quote-unquote pre-streams back when they were like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Or they were uploading those before he could. It was one of those two situations. I want to say it was Stick of Truth because he was dumb mad about that shit. He was dumb mad about that. And keep in mind, if DSP can get away with doing something, he'll just keep doing it. He'll just keep doing it. And then he'll plead ignorance later saying, oh, well, I've been doing this for a long time. I didn't know. Why didn't anybody tell me sooner? It's not like you guys haven't heard DSP use that fucking excuse before. That's all I'm saying.
Number one is laziness, right? So that's the biggest driving force in Philip's life is laziness. How can I do what I have to do in the least work possible? Okay, so number two might be following the rules. So I think the laziness of waiting to upload something overrode his willingness to follow the rules in that case.
Nah, in that case, like I said, I'm pretty confident it was greed and trying to stick it to what you would consider the early detractors before anything. I'm pretty sure, but like, I mean, like, so you can ask Tevin, big ups Tevin or Theo, and you know, someone who's been around for a long time, Secret Limited, and I'm sure they'll give you better context to that. But I'm pretty confident that's what caused DSP to completely say fuck it to the embargo, the 24-hour exclusive embargo, and do it that way. He was just trying to beat the trolls out. And if any person who's willing to protect a pedophile to basically not let a detractor, troll, hater, or critic win, you telling me they give a fuck about a company TOS? And then he still can play victim after the fact. These people were still in my content, and it was the only thing I could do to prevent them from hurting me on this other platform. Which sounds weird. You're going to go to your boss on one platform and say, oh, I had to break your rules so I can get money on the second platform. But that's what DSP did, though. Makes you think.
In that case, specific case, do you have to turn dual streaming on every stream? Why would it ever be turned off? He doesn't stream. I'm guessing, now this is just a guess, and someone that streams on Kick, please tell me if you know the facts here. I'm guessing when you start streaming, you have to click multi-stream every time. Because then, if that's not the case, well then I would turn to team on purpose.
Okay, see, so Alt's giving himself a way out. My thing is this: if he's not turning off the multi-stream function when he closed both of his streams down at the end of the night, right? Then why is he having a hard time turning them? Then why does he even have to worry about turning them back on? Let's reword that. If DSP ends his stream without going into the options for multi-streaming or anything else, then when he starts to stream the next, during the next stream or the next day, shouldn't it already be enabled and just come back on? But that would be in the settings. But if DSP hasn't gone into the settings, which I'm pretty confident he hasn't, outside of monetization and graphics and whatnot, I don't think he really cares. So that right there is another out that DSP has. Oh, there's a feature for that I could automatically set it once to multi-streaming and that's it. I don't have to worry about doing it every time I turn on the stream. Oh, well, why didn't the email tell me that? You know what I'm saying? Why wasn't I notified about that? I didn't know that. Now, he can't sit there and throw that on Kino Casino because they only stream on one platform. They only stream on Kick. They don't stream anywhere else. They stream on Kick and then they have their shit clipped and put up on YouTube later. Usually, like, I'd say 4 days to a week later. So I don't even know if there's some type of embargo there where you can't upload your stuff to another channel for a little while or whatever. I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. But maybe that's a thing. So I'm not trying to put the responsibility on Kick and say, oh, well, Kick should have done this, that, third. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is the feature may actually be there where he can enable that. Like basically set it and forget it. And he's choosing not to do it. And it could be from laziness because he doesn't want to go and look. Or he's using that as an out by saying, oh, well, I didn't know. And if you guys have emailed me 2 or 3 times about this, why didn't someone say, hey, Philip, there's a feature there where you can click enable multi-stream at all times and it'll always do that. But no one told me. So how could I know? Just like that thing with John and Howard. Oh, well, Respect the Pack said they didn't want any money, so I didn't give them any money. If they wanted money, why didn't they tell me? If John had a problem with me and how I was treating him, why didn't he tell me? If Howard was mad at me for how I was treating Respect the Pack and the situation with the Project 7 shirts, why didn't he come to me and tell me? You don't know how to read a room? And that right there is laziness, ignorance, and just not giving a fuck about other people, but it automatically gives him a way out too.
Really quickly. But I would imagine it's every time you have to click it, right? That is a dented design choice, but that's what would lead to Philip forgetting to switch it off every time.
I don't know if it's forgetting to turn it on or just giving him an excuse. It could be both. That could literally be 2 things at once.
Right. Logan K says he refused to put in machinima bumpers most of the time when he was with them.
Oh yeah, the first time around. And that was a good contract. You know what I'm saying? But then again, DSP felt like he had options. And that's why he left machinima the very first time. And then he got himself fucked up on Blip. Or no, he got himself fucked up with the AdSense. Had to run the Blip, fucked himself up on Blip, came back to YouTube, sucked Hutch's dick for a job, and then ended up going to machinima the second time and basically was a good piggy that time around. So they're right. the very, very first time he got on Machinima, he didn't want to do it this way. He didn't want to do yada, yada, yada. But yet again, he had an option at that time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it'd have been nice to be on Machinima early, but he still had his AdSense, so, you know, they could fuck off until he needed them.
That's okay. Okay. Thank you, Logan. Thank you. Thank you for coming today to the courtroom, and I'll get your full testimony in a second. Let me interrupt you real quick, though. That was one of those cases where laziness overrode the rules, and also Philip thought he was hot shit that didn't have to follow those rules. Okay?
Okay. I immediately want to object, but he's not wrong. Because, as I've said before, DSP likes the idea of being presented an opportunity. He had to beg Hutch for a job after the blip situation. Machinima came out to him and offered him, hey, would you like to join our organization or our company, so on and so forth. Let me give an example. So, because I talk too damn much anyway, right? So think about E3. He only went out that 1 year with John, and he never went back. Why? I want you to really think about that for a minute. Why is it that DSP was invited to go to E3 1 year? He asked if he could get an additional pass for John. They gave it to him. They went out there. He supposedly did such a great job, even though he didn't network with anybody. He made 100+ videos or whatever the fuck. He did all this ridiculous crap, but without actually having a good time or anything. Had fucking media passes where they could have skipped the line. Like, they had a level of exclusivity. Didn't use it until John realized, well, hey, those guys have passes like us and they're able to go through. And then someone was like, hey, what do you guys stand in line for? You guys can just go right in. You don't have to wait until we open. Just go. Go. That's what you guys got passes for. Remember that? But why didn't DSP go the year after that? Or the year after that? Or the year after that? Because it wasn't presented to him. It wasn't like they were thinking of him at that time. And then they presented him with the opportunity. All he had to do was go to his managed partner and be like, hey, can I get tickets to go back to E3 this year? And they probably would have been like, sure, we'll put you on the list. But he didn't do that. Why? Because he didn't have he wasn't being catered to. He wasn't being pampered. They didn't make him feel important. Him having to ask after being invited the year previously what seemed like something lesser to him. It would have still been just going to E3 and having a good time, but because it wasn't presented to him, right? It made it, and he would have to ask. It seemed like a lesser situation, so he chose not to go. And then what did he do, ladies and gentlemen? For those of you who know your lore, he has sat there and bitched and complained about it for year after year after year about how they invited me out that 1 year and they said I did such a good job and everything, but then they never invited me back out again. He could have just asked. That's like, for example, a hypothetical. That's like saying, let's say Meerkat, or let's say that being said, or whoever. Let's say they have like an exclusive stream and they invite a bunch of fucking detractors on shit. It's like just one, let's say it's a 24-hour stream and they ask a bunch of people to go on, right? And let's say, I don't know, fuck anybody really. Let's take Sav. Let's take kind of Sav. Big ups to her. Even though I'm sorry that you have that 400-pound fucking lol cow following you around. And I think I read something on Twitter about that Rich flagged you or flagged one of your streams and all that bullshit. I'm sorry about that, Sav. But Sav's gonna handle it because Sav's been walking Review Tech USA's bitch ass for a hot ass minute. So she's just gonna walk his ass yet again. So it is what it is on that. But let's say that Sav got invited to this first event or whatever. And let's say the next year she doesn't get invited again and whatnot. Not because they have a problem with her. Let's just say that they forgot. It slipped their mind. Let's say they, whatever. And then she threw a fit about it. Now, obviously, Sav wouldn't do that. But you get my drift. Right? Just because you weren't invited again doesn't mean you couldn't ask them, hey, can I jump in? Maybe, can I be able to participate? And I'm sure they'd been okay with it. You know what I mean? It's something like that. All he had to do was ask. All he had to do was ask his partner manager if, hey, can you get me tickets again? End of story. I don't have no problem with asking for help. So I don't see why he would. But see, when you think you're so goddamn special, you know what I'm saying? When you're used to being catered to, which makes you feel special, makes you feel important, then you may have a problem. But that's just me, though.
Dead Bears makes a good point, too. He doesn't want to be told what to do. If the rules are listed for everyone, and they're not a human telling him something, right?
That's fair. That's actually a fair point.
How am I defending Pigler? I'm not defending him. I'm saying he's this form of horrible instead of the other version of horrible. There's no defense happening here. It's either is it intentional
Pick up Ski Sonic. I'm just now seeing that.
scam, or he's so stupid and lazy he might lose his kick partnership because he forgets. Both are bad. You know what I'm saying? The bit rate.
But here's the thing, too, and I have to ask this, but since I'm not, since I would have to reach out to someone who's on Kick, who is in their partner program to get better context. How much is he actually making a day off of Kick hourly? I should say. We're not talking about gifted, gifted subs or whatever the fuck. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what is his hourly rate compared to what would be his hourly rate if he was streaming over there exclusively compared to what he's getting by multi-streaming and only getting half. You know what I'm saying? For DSP, that might be worth the risk. Something to think about.
Limits on Twitch he constantly broke is another good point. This is one of those cases, though, where he thought he was hot shit and was above someone directly telling him that he was breaking the rules. Okay?
To some degree, but at the same time, though, too, he did plead ignorant to things that he clearly knew what he was doing was wrong. You know what I mean? Like, he clearly knew he was doing shit. For example, think about when he cried when he got kicked off of Twitch the last time. All right, the two last times, I should say. Let's reword that. The last two times DSP got kicked off of Twitch. Let's use both of those situations. What happened the first time? DSP had himself a kerfuffle, if you will, a verbal kerfuffle where it sounded like he said something. I honestly think he said the N-word. I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say about that, but I honestly think he said the N-word. And he appealed it, and after a certain amount of hours, they let him back on. Whatever. I honestly think he said the N-word. Whether he had, mush mouth his words or whatever the fuck, he said the N-word. The second time and the last time he got kicked off, they said he was using hateful slurs, or at least that's what DSP tells us. Now, class, or to the jury, or to the court, whatever, to the coffee shop, because that's where we at, you know what I'm saying? But to all of you here coming out of the courtroom, let's be very honest about that situation. A hateful slur doesn't have to be, hateful slur. A hateful slur doesn't have to be racially motivated. It can just be abusive language, which is something that DSP did a bunch of. What he did was take two situations and put them together to justify it, because he was able to beat the N-word charge, but he couldn't beat the second one. They caught his ass on the hateful slurs later. Slur can be anything. It doesn't have to be racial. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's just abusive or whatever can be used as such. Not to tell you that I'm an expert on that shit or anything. Just saying. And that's how they got his ass up and out of there. And that's all it is to it. And he still holds it to this very day. I've never said any hateful slurs. I never said this, that, and the third. If you bring up abusive language, you immediately get a lean-in manual. Just like what happened to that guy with the blue hair. Thought that he almost got his ass clipped with that indefinite fucking suspension the time before all of that. So let's not act like DSP won't bend the rules or try to mold it and shape it to fit his narrative.
So in this case,
and I get it with Alt, because I got to give Alt a lot of credit. I got to give Alt some credit, because he is playing some pretty good angles. I'm not saying that Alt's trying to get over on you, because I honestly think he isn't. But I do see the angles that he's playing, and they're reasonable enough where it sows doubt. So if he does hold like a courtroom type situation, I can kind of see that, and it kind of intrigues me in a bit, because I love arguing. That's why, because I talk too goddamn much. But anyway, so I see where Alt's coming from. But like now you start getting to situational type situations, then that gets murky. Because if DSP is willing or is able to change his shape depending on the situation, now that gives some credence to, is he doing it on purpose or is it just laziness and stupidity? Now we have to shift things a little bit, right? We have to reassess. That's probably the term I should be using. We have to reassess at that point, because ignorance can only take you so far. You can't fit all that into one box. That's not an all size fits all type thing. Semantics. That's it's semantics. Now we're getting deep with that.
I think he doesn't think he's hot shit enough to call out kick, because if he did, he'd be very quick to say, "Oh, I can't. I have to switch it off every time. Fuck you." But he doesn't have that. He knows he doesn't have that pull anymore.
Well, it's not even that he doesn't have that pull anymore. He knows that all the hyenas and shit are literally sitting out there waiting for him to say some dumb shit. That's why he had to run the PPP and say, "I don't understand what's going on. I've been streaming over here for 3 weeks and they still haven't offered me partnership yet." It's like that. Like, DSP is not going to go directly, quote unquote, to the boss anymore, because look at what happened with look at what happened with Machinima. Look at what happened with Curse. Look at what happened with Twitch. And Kino Casino had far more pull. That's why he went to them bitching. It was easier to do that. So I don't know if it's so much as hot shit, because clearly he thought enough of himself to go to PPP and cry about it. He's just a coward, and he wasn't willing to take that shit to them directly, in the idea that they may not give him partnership at all. So I get where he's coming from.
So I'm thinking it's just a laziness thing. And I've called this thing Piglin's Razor. We already have Ackham's Razor. And the Ackham's Razor is that Philip will take the laziest path to do something.
Agreed.
Piglin's Razor means don't assume there is ill intent in something that could be chalked up to ignorance.
That gives him a way out then. Because now you're just saying, no, sorry, but I'm not sorry. No, I can't do that. Because if you go off of that narrative, I'm not saying that narrative doesn't exist. I'm saying that I'm not willing to do that, because if you allow him to just be able to play off laziness or ignorance, then you're giving him an automatic way out as it pertains to how malicious that he may treat people or how he may try to take advantage of a situation. And it's very clear that not DSP, not Wings of Redemption, not Review Tech USA, not Low Tier God, not any lolcow is above being malicious. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's a fair assessment to have. That, yet again, it can't be a one-size-fit-all under that. But then again, he's not really presenting, Alt isn't really presenting that as such. He's saying that take into consideration that it's just pure ignorance and laziness before you get into the maliciousness angle. Because yet again, DSP could easily use that to play victim later. Oh, it was just a simple mistake, but these guys think I'm just a horrible person. I'm a demon and I'm the devil and all that shit. I see where Alt's coming from. But yet again, DSP will use that to his advantage too. He's already tried. So that's a tomato type thing.
Or forgetfulness. And that's the case in this is in my case here.
DSP is not forgetful when it comes to money, though. That's not a thing at all. That's legitimately not a thing. So, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I can give you some context to how little DSP, if it comes down to greed or his ego, he's not going to forget shit. On this same pre-stream, Paul's not actually watching the pre-stream yet, but I'm assuming that he did because this was a watch-along. On today's pre-stream, DSP bitching complains about the situation with Doom Dark Ages. Now, that whole thing was like a week or two ago. It may not have been 2 weeks ago, but you know what I mean? It's certainly over a week ago. And DSP is still spouting and raging and bitching about that, and that's pure ego, on top of the fact that DSP couldn't profit from it. So I don't know if you can say forgetfulness and money in the same sentence when it comes to Dark Side Phil. I don't know if that's a thing. Now, keep in mind, I'm a firm believer that DSP will sacrifice money for his ego, but that's a conscious decision. That's not really chalked up to, laziness or forgetfulness. I don't know if that right there, I don't know if that's fair. Not fair, but I don't know if that actually goes together like that.
That's what I'm saying here. It's what I'm offering to the court. That's what I'm offering to the court. Right? So.
I wish I had the objection sound bite right now. That would have been funny. But anyway, that's my initial thoughts, though. It's still a very good argument, though. I gotta tell you. This might make a fun verbal joust.
Take that with you will. I'm done. Goodbye. Now, if we like Summer Vale T, I'll be dropping the phone calls. We'll be having a deep fucking debate right here. I promise you. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there to that.
Okay, so does Alt do debates during the? Wait, is Alt not going out of town with the family this year, or maybe he's not going to be out all summer, or it doesn't matter. That's not my business. All right, never mind. But if that is a summer type thing, I'll be interested to see how that debate goes during the summer. That might be pretty good.
That world, we could change the schedule whenever we want to. And when deep conversations happen, I bring a real live crew. We get some fucking court going live. Anyways, we can call for recess, pause everything. We're almost there. We're getting there. All right, back to it.
Is he willing to have multi-day fucking discussions and shit? Or deliberations, I should say. Has it ever even gone that far on a particular subject where they had to basically go over it multiple days and shit? Not that I said I have an incredible amount of fucking experience in court or anything. I don't want to put that out there. Just asking. I'm asking for a friend. I'm asking for a friend.
Ducks, I don't know what happened today. No exaggeration. This is the least supported stream I have done in over a year, I believe.
Didn't he just say that like a week ago? I feel like he said that within the last 10 days. Jesus Christ. Every time he doesn't make a fucking boatload of money early or throughout or within a 4 to 6 hour time frame, he says some bullshit like this. So that's nothing new.
I don't think I've done a single stream that has only done 30-something bucks for 5 hours. You know, I have no clue what happened today.
I mean, it shows how little worth your time is, to be honest with you.
If the people who were supported just didn't show up, I mean, I'm not getting the vibe that people aren't liking the game anymore.
Correct.
So I don't think that's what it is. I'm at a loss.
Matt Ice has a question. Is approaching the bench and says, LT, I submit him freaking out on Kino as evidence that he thinks he's higher than Kick.
Okay. I don't know if I'd say if I think he was higher than Kick. I think he was upset that Kick didn't acknowledge. Because remember, DSP really doesn't have anything to him but his quote-unquote the most prolific content creator. He streams 6 days a week, 70-hour days and all this, 70 hours a week, whatever. So I think that's what it was. I think he was like, hey, how is it that I've been streaming here for 3 straight months or 3 straight weeks? I think it was 3 weeks. I've been streaming over here for 3 fucking weeks and I still haven't been offered anything yet. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what that was. I'm not sure if I say he freaked. No, I guess I could agree with the freaking out part, because what are you bringing that to fucking Kino Casino for, or PPP in particular? Why didn't you, take that to a representative? You know what I'm saying? But he was rather aggressive with it. Like somehow PPP and Andy should have been putting in the good word for him or something. Be like, hey, our friend Phil here has been streaming for 3 straight weeks and whatever. Why hasn't he been offered a contract yet? Does fucking what's her name? Lex? Does Lex have a fucking contract yet? You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she's partnered, but does she have the 9 to 5 type situation in her contract? I don't know. And she's been on Kick longer than DSP. She's far more entertaining. Whatever.
Okay. Now give me a second. Thank you. Did you add this to the evidence, Bailiff?
Yes, I did. I added the.
Okay, thank you. Now, but here's the thing about that, Mad Ice. Oh god, I'm fucking pissed off. Another reason I'm fucking pissed off is because at the fucking Aldi, they don't have my favorite drink.
Your Honor, I feel like the defense is sitting here and is purposely trying to derail where we're at in deliberations right now and whatnot. I'm not necessarily saying that he's stalling, but I feel like he is purposely interrupting and whatnot. I would like for him to stay on subject until lunch actually happens, or we break for recess, or whatever the case may be. I'm just joking, but that's kind of funny.
Drink that's not the water flavored drink I used to get, that's not carbonated, and it's perfect because you can drink it on stream and not fucking burp your ass off. They don't have it anymore, so I had to get fucking sparkling water. And sometimes I got to drink during the stream, and then I start doing the burp, and I got to mute it, and it's annoying. I don't want you to hear the burp, but it's.
What about flavored water packets? I mean, maybe he doesn't like those, because I know some of those things can give you like a chalky aftertaste. But like, he could always go with those. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously Crystal Light makes them. There's the little mini bottles that you can squeeze into it. Most store brands carry their own thing. Why am I even saying any of this? Sorry. Sorry. But that is an option if he doesn't want something carbonated.
Another step. Another fucking thing. World's out to get me. Fuck this shit. All right, back to the point.
That's
Mad
pretty
Ice.
funny. That actually is a nice. I realized that he's memeing DSP, like how DSP deflects when he's being approached with a hard question. That's kind of funny, actually.
Okay. He was upset at Kino Casino, right? Not at Kick itself, and he would never bring up what's the best word to say it? That disrespect directly to Kick, though. So he does think he's above Kick, but he's not ready to directly go after Kick.
I don't think he would have gone after Kick anyway, to be honest. I just don't think he had that in him to reach out to Kick to support or whatever. He probably still, like I said, he probably still has PTSD over the situation with Machinima. So he never was going to do that. So I think he was venting at Kino Casino. But maybe he could have been holding some type of resentment for Kino Casino for not vouching him. But yet again, what were they going to vouch for him for? They didn't know that he was desperate to get into... Well, I'm going to have to look back at those Discord DMs a little bit closer. But they're not mind readers and shit, like, right? Like, Kino Casino couldn't read his mind and be like, oh, he wants to get that 9 to 5, whatever. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the DMs. But he couldn't... I don't know. DSP's unreasonable as fuck. So, it's very possible he could have felt slighted by Kino Casino that they didn't push harder for him or didn't push Kick to get him other certain amenities early or perks. It's an interesting argument.
Right. Necro says he was mad at Kick for not responding to his emails. That was a long time ago, though. Okay. Thank you, Necro. I see what you're saying now. That was when they said they're not responding as to why he didn't get partner right away. He was pissed about that, too. But he didn't say it, like, directly to them.
Keep in mind, though, too, DSP didn't have the numbers for partnership at the time. I still think he doesn't, honestly. But he didn't have the numbers that warranted him getting partnership. That came later. You know, that was back when there was, 50 people, maybe, at any given time and whatnot. So... there wouldn't have been a reason for him to do so, or for Kick to offer that to him.
He's not trying to do something directly because he does hate confrontation, right? So I don't know. Good point. But I still think, okay, let's do a poll. I mean, that's what a poll is for. Okay, let's do our pre-poll. Let's jump on that poll. Okay. Choose one. Okay, you can only choose one. I'm going to make two choices. Okay. Philip is attempting to scam Kick for more money. That's the first option. Okay? Attempting to scam Kick. Number 2, Philip forgets to...
He's definitely doing something. So I would have to go with poll number 1. He's definitely doing something. I don't think it's just pure laziness and ignorance.
Turn off the setting. To switch the setting. Okay? Here we go. Poll is dropping in 3, 2, 1, go. We'll see what the crowd is at. We'll see what the jury is at right now. Shout outs to jury. Okay? Shout outs to jury. Go ahead. Back to it.
Hello, Mr. Piggy. It's Ziggy Piggy. Save the pig, the game. The whole game you're trying to save the pig's life. Help! That is it for this stream. Now tonight, stream of my...
Cerulean would like to add something to the courtroom. Phil specifically said that this Kick correspondence was to ensure his KCIP. Okay, where did this take place? Was this on last night's stream? I will bring that up happily if that is a real thing. Cerulean 86, please tell me.
Minecraft, I need to raise a lot of money this month. No lies, because I need the money right now with this whole tax situation I'm in. I need the money. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. There's still this back here.
Okay. I think that's the end of the video, though. Okay. So it was during, it was when they pinned the message on the, see, the first time I saw the pinned message thing was Sunday night. Now, if they did that on day stream again, Raw Phil should have that. if it's there. Oh no, Ralph Phil probably will. It'll probably be archived though. God damn it! Then we got to go through his channel to see what the fuck that is. Unless it was if it wasn't archived. The first stream was he has 3 fucking streams too. Any guess as to which one it was? Part 1, Part 2, Part 3.
Okay.
Okay, so this cut was done by Diggs. So, all right, we'll just go with it. We'll see what's what. This was on the 26th. So that was Monday, right? Yeah, well, obviously, it says right there Monday. Sorry. My bad. My bad. Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it right there. You can see the kick message. He's looking at that. Wait a second. Okay, I really want you guys to think about this. He's looking at that message. Like, he's looking directly at it. He's not saying nothing. All right, so let me bring this back.
3.
Okay.
All right, so we're at so we'll say we're at 21.
Okay.
All right, we're at 21:56 when the damn thing pops up. I want you to think about how much time it took him to actually recognize what was going on.
Tonight we are having turkey hot dogs. Yes, we are. We're actually having turkey hot dogs. Oh, kick support. Thank you again, man.
Fuck that. That was almost 10. That was damn near like 12 seconds, bro. He saw that message before the hot dog one. And he says he has a combined chat or whatever, right? His chat isn't that crazy. So he saw that message. I don't know if that's enough evidence for me to present in court, but he clearly peeped the message and he had a long time to do it. Now, don't get me wrong, DSP's slow as shit, so it takes him a while to process stuff. I get that. But he clearly saw that message before he acknowledged it.
I screwed up again, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I keep screwing this up. Kick support, we're all good. So thank you for reminding me. Dude, I did it again.
Now, wait a second. The first time he was notified by this or about this, he was sent an email. And he said, oh, okay. He went and checked the email. Oh, I need to enable multi-streaming. This right here, it's like he automatically knew what it was. He didn't even, it wasn't like, oh, well, let me check my email. What's the message actually say? Let me do that. We got to be thorough about this shit. Okay. Hey there at Darkside Phil, or sorry, at DSPGaming Real, whatever. Hope this message finds you well. Let's see, we are writing you and kindly ask you for a moment of your time. Check your email inbox. Thanks in advance. Okay, so definitely it's an automated message, and he clearly knew what was in it. He clearly knew what was in it. He didn't sit there and say, oh, well, I wonder what happened. He knew he was doing something wrong. I don't think he forgot. That's just me, though. That's just me.
Turkey hot dogs. Yes, we are. We're actually having turkey hot dogs. Oh, kick support. Thank you again, man. I screwed up again, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I keep screwing this up.
It's like he already knew. He already knew he fucked up.
Kick support, we're all good. So thank you for reminding me. Dude, I did it again.
And the thing is, the way he's wording it, it's almost like like it said, hey, you don't have multi-streaming enabled, please do that. No, it just says, hey, check your email. And he's like, huh? And he just went right to it. He went right to enabling it. He didn't forget shit. He knew what he was doing was wrong. Or he knew he was doing something wrong, I should say.
I'm so happy that kick support does that. Thank you, kick support. Yeah, I keep screwing up. Every time that you do multi-streaming on Kick, you have to type in a command to enable it.
No, there has to be a way of doing that instead of sending a prompt. There has to be something in his settings that he can hit for that. There has to be something else. You have to literally start your stream, or you have to hit a prompt and whatnot. You have to type in a prompt to go ahead and immediately do that. Nah. There's something in his settings that you can do for that. I may have to jump into my Kick and find out. But yeah, I X'd out on that.
I keep forgetting. They're doing me a solid because if I don't enable it, I don't get paid at all. So they're helping me out. Thank you, kick support. Appreciate you.
And that's his out. if they ever come to him and say, "Hey, Phil, you've had too many violations, yada yada yada. Hey, I'm really sorry. I'm forgetting. You look at how many messages did you guys end up sending me, or how many automated messages that were sent to me. See, I multi-stream. I stream 12 hours, 14 hours a day, and whatnot. I'm dealing with trolls. I'm dealing with this and that, and I forgot. I apologize. Just give me one more chance. Just give me one more chance, and I promise you it won't happen again." He has no problem with, you know what I'm saying? If he didn't mind getting on his hands and knees and begging for fucking, and saying that he was an alcoholic and not wanting Mike Watson and fucking Ja had to beat his motherfucking face in, you tell me he wouldn't do the same thing here? I know that's incredibly hyperbolic on my end, but you know how I get down. So, you know how I get down. So I don't think this is too much different, to be honest. But he knew he was doing something wrong. And he didn't even check the email. That's what the message said. Check your email. Thanks in advance. He already knew. He already knew what he was doing. Oh, they caught me. Let me go ahead and do it. Thanks, Kick Support. Thank you, Kick Support. I appreciate it.
I think it's kind of automated though. But then,
my bad. That's what I wanted you guys to hear. Because I remember watching this in real time, where he said that, "Oh, I think the message is automated." So he's already. It's not about being fucking smart, but he's already making the assessment that, okay, they're not sending a real person at me. It's an automated message. Okay. So, you know what I'm saying? So there isn't any immediate repercussions. He's still in the warning phase, so to speak.
on Kick, you have to type in a command to enable it. And I keep forgetting.
You have to type in a command to do it. I don't know, man. I exit out on that, but I can't speak to anything right now.
They're doing me a solid, because if I don't enable it, I don't get paid at all. So they're helping me out. Thank you, Kick Support. Appreciate you. I think it's kind of automated though, but thank you. I can unpin it because I just fixed it.
Take a sip, you sleazy asshole.
Yeah.
I wonder how they detect that. Now I'm kind of curious on how Kick actually detects that situation. But now that I think about it, because they brought him into the system, because they brought him into the program, he must have to sign in to his YouTube as well. So when he goes live, they catch that signal too. Or if he was on Twitch, they would probably catch that signal that, hey, he's live on 2 platforms. And that's how I'm just guessing. I have no clue. But I'm wondering, how is it that they're able to detect that? Piece of shit.
Dishonored franchise? I like Dishonored.
Didn't he quit Dishonored 2 DLC, I think it was? I want to say it was DLC 2. He quit. And I want to tell you that was in... Secret... That was in one of Secret Limited's top 10 worst moments. It was either in the 2016 or the 2017. It might have been in 2017. Because remember, Fred Fox did the first one, which was 2015. Yeah, it was either in the 2016 or 2017. I want to say it was in 2017. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was Dishonored 2 DLC. I'm pretty sure he rage quit that bitch.
Dishonored 2 DLC.
Yes, I had it on the light. When I press the button, it overshoots the light and lands on the ground. That's my fault. I'm really hating this at this point. I seriously am. It's not fun at all. Honestly, guys, I think this is the final session of this. I think I'm going to finish this stream, and I'm done. I'm tapping out. It's fucking boring, man. Rage? Where do you see rage? It's so boring. What do you guys think I should... I'm done with this. I'm not playing this no more. Fuck this. Here you go. Here's what I think of this fucking game. Get the fuck out of here. Terrible, monotonous garbage. $30. Yes, Spooky One was like, what? How much was it? That was $30.
Anyway, sorry, just random thought.
I usually remember to enable the multi-stream. I'll be honest, that's if Kick asks for feedback, I think what should happen, okay, is when you're streaming, if you're in the partner program, it actually enables multi-streaming automatically. And you have to click on it to say, no, I'm actually only streaming on Kick. Because
maybe there's an option and maybe there's an actual option that does that, where you can set it up in advance, like meaning like, hey, you know, I'm always multi-streaming, so multi-streaming enable, and then you set it and forget it. I think I wouldn't be surprised if that was something, there has to be something made available, especially for partners. Because that's the only thing, those are the only people who would be affected by that. But I could be wrong. Maybe not.
it's kind of very easy to just not think about it and forget it. And right now, the reason...
See, and that's a convenient excuse. That you see why I'm giving so much pushback to the laziness or the forgetfulness of it, because he'll latch on to that shit and he will ride that shit till the horse breaks. Sorry, cat, but he'll ride that shit till the damn thing dies out. It's too easy of an excuse. If we're gonna go with the way DSP does anything is usually the way he does everything, right? So if he's gonna go the path of least resistance, right? I don't want to take what Alt said word for word. If we're gonna go with the path of least resistance, then by giving him that out, by saying it's just stupidity or it's laziness, he'll take that and he'll run with it, because that works right up his alley anyway. No different than what I said earlier about what happened with Jaha and Mike Watson in that parking lot. I'm an alcoholic, dude. I can't control myself. But what did DSP say recently though? He said he was willing to stand tall on it. He said he put his hands behind his back and he said, "Yo, do what you guys got to do." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I fucked up. I'm willing to take the beating. But that's clearly not what was going to happen. That's clearly not what the story was. So, semantics.
And I'm remembering is because they're actually coming in and reminding me, but I don't know how long they're going to do that.
See, yet again. So he's sitting here telling you, hey, they're reminding me, but I don't know how long they're going to do that. It's almost as if, yet again, we're stress testing. Stress testing. We're trying to push the boundaries and see what we can get away with. It sounds like what he's doing. Because yet again, as Alt shouldn't have to, not Alt, but the Kick shouldn't have to come in and say, hey, don't forget the clock in. Don't forget the clock out. But that's what he's kind of doing. Think about it. Here, let me bring that back so you can hear it. Yet again, I talk too damn much.
Automatically, and you have to click on it to say, no, I'm actually only streaming on Kick, because it's kind of very easy to just not think about it and forget it. And right now, the reason I'm remembering is because they're actually coming in and reminding me, but I don't know how long.
So you didn't remember shit. They just came in and reminded you. You can't do two things. Peep what he said. He said, the reason why I remembered is because they came in and reminded me. So you didn't remember anything. They came in and they told you to do something. But to the court, he didn't look at the email. He knew exactly what that message meant without even looking at the email. But the first time this happened to him, he immediately went to his email and was like, hey, what the fuck is this? Now I have to make it my mission to go ahead and try to find that clip, because then that ties what I'm saying together. But keep that in mind. Peep it.
Another one. Good night. Okay. Not so bad. Whatever the hell it is, it dies like everything else, so. There we go. Uh-huh. Kick support wants me to check my email. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kick support. Appreciate that. I totally forgot. Kick support, you just did me a solid. Thank you, Kick support. Thank you, Kick support. That's so nice of them that they do that. I appreciate that. I totally forgot to enable the multi-streaming, and it would have screwed me over. Thank you, Kick support. You can unpin that now, guys. Thank you. Wow. That is so nice of them to give heads up like that. Awesome. Okay. Continuing on. Very nice. Okay. And thank you for letting me know that they came in, because I didn't see it. I was playing the game. Appreciate that, guys. Okay. What did you do? You told me that Kick support was here, and then they told me, you know, I had accidentally not enabled the multi-streaming, so I just did. Excellent. Thank you. I might as well take this, right? Pull everything. And, yeah, we just filled out everything, so, okay. See what this... Oh! Cosmic Eyes. Certain gates in the cosmic realm are locked with cosmic eyes. To open the gate, align the frame with the cosmic eye and shatter the frame with your shield saw. Huh? So, do this. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, Dunsfelter, only the streamer can enable the multi-streaming feature on Kick. So it has to be me. In this case, it would just slip my mind when I turn the stream on tonight. I've been doing it very consistently. It just completely slipped my mind. So that's nice that Kick support actually does that and gives the heads up, because, you know, you don't want to get screwed over.
Peep what's going on here. The pig shit. He knew what he was doing.
They're going to do that. Because if they don't, then they will just demonetize the whole stream and I won't get paid for it. So.
All right, one more time. I got to bring it back for y'all one more time. I won't say anything.
If Kick asks for feedback, I think what should happen, okay, is when you're streaming, if you're in the partner program, it actually enables multi-streaming automatically, and you have to click on it to say, no, I'm actually only streaming on Kick, because it's kind of very easy to just not think about it and forget it. And right now, the reason I'm remembering is because they're actually coming in and reminding me, but I don't know how long they're going to do that. Because if they don't, then they will just demonetize the whole stream and I won't get paid for it. So. Oh, I think Starbucks pumpkin spice is decent. Yeah.
Yeah, their pumpkin spice is all right. Remembering and you being reminded are two separate things, though. You didn't remember shit. Someone had to come in and remind you. Someone had to fucking wipe your ass for you. That's what that situation is. But yet again, he says he doesn't know how long they're going to keep doing that for. He knew what he was doing. He literally knew he gives DSP enough rope to hang himself. He literally outed himself, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if it's going to be enough to hold up in court, but I think that's what happened. I honestly think he outed himself right then and there, or at least in the previous, at least maybe even a few seconds before that. But I think he knew what he was doing. All right, here, let's continue.
Well, I'll check the poll right now. The poll is at 68% say scam, 32% say forgot to switch the setting. Hate Army says scam 100%.
I wish he had a third option. If he had a third option, I guarantee you that the 30% plus or whatever would probably be lower.
No growth, all trolls, so he's squeezing out a few last dollars before he sets himself up as a martyr when they boot him with a sob story.
Well, eventually, I don't think they're going to boot him. I think if Hate Army becomes a Hate Army, unless they mean that Hate Army means they're going to kick him out of the program. And that would be just because of a lack of viewership, and he's probably not bringing in enough supplemental income, i.e. subs or gifted subs, to warrant him being in there. But that's few and far between. Like I said, he's kind of an afterthought. But then I'm contradicting myself, because clearly someone or the system itself is paying attention to him to where they're sending him the notification. So I gotta be careful, because I don't want to crutch all of my case on this one thing. That's not how you win court cases. Anywho,
that seems to be the thought of the 68% for sure, right? He knows things are going downhill on Kick for sure. I still think he sees Kick as easy money, right? Don't you? It seems to be very easy money that I don't think he's ready to get rid of quite yet.
How many people, and this is me just wanting this to be noted on record, how many accounts have been banned on Kick, to be honest? And there's very little moderation over there besides himself. And though the 9 to 5 aspect does make it seem like it's easy money, and he's certainly tried to big up on it, saying that, hey, it's helped his overall income immensely, and now he's definitely in a position where he can purchase shit and do all this lame ass whatever stuff, and can't save any money to save our lives, but he can purchase whatever the fuck he wants to on a dime for whatever reason. but it's not convenient. It's not convenient at all. And it doesn't give him the power or the prestige that like Twitch would give him, for example. And yet again, I still hold on to this argument just in case you guys didn't see that video. I wouldn't blame you. That was a while ago. I do think with the new restrictions or with the new opportunities for monetization that's coming to Twitch, where you don't even have to be partnered and you'll be able to get ads on your streams. And I think you'll be able to get access to bits. I think that right there makes it a pretty attractive, a very attractive situation for Darks, I feel. Now, with that being said, no pun intended, I know some of you are going to be like, well, doesn't DSP still want doesn't he still want his apology? And I wonder actually if they'll let you get memberships too. Wonder if they'll give you I think they'll let you get memberships as well without being partnered or affiliated too. I think that's what it is. I think it's ads, I think it's memberships, and I think it's bits. You know what? Give me just a second and let me look this up. Okay, let me look this up because I've got a correction. Remember when I said ads? That's not what it says here, but here, let me read it out to you. Twitch has updated its monetization policy, opening up more monetization tools to streamers of all sizes from day one, including subscriptions and bits, while keeping the affiliate program in place. Let's see here. New streamers can enable subscriptions and bits immediately rather than waiting to achieve affiliate status. However, the payout is still subject to an affiliate program minimum requirements. Interesting. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so it is actually subscriptions and bits will be available. But then, like I said, there is a restriction as it pertains to the payout, which is subjected to whatever it is that affiliates have to go through. Let me read a little further. Day one monetization, but with a catch. While streamers can immediately enable monetization tools for subscriptions and bits, they won't be able to withdraw funds until they reach affiliate status. So that would be X amount of followers, X amount of time streaming, and so on and so forth. I'm sure I've got affiliate on one of those two channels that I have. Okay. And actually here, let me finish this off and then we'll move on. It says right here, other monetization tools. While subscriptions and bits are now available to all streamers, features like ad revenue sharing is still required still requires affiliate or partner status. So my bad. I was wrong about the ads part, but it's subscriptions and bits you can basically enable day one. But you won't get your payout until you make it to affiliate. Okay, gotcha. I roger that. You know what? I could have just pulled the article up on here. My bad. I'll put a browser source in here for that, and I will incorporate that in the future, just in case I have to present the case to the court with some visuals. All right. Anyway, here we go.
Is what I think. Matt Ice says, also, I'd like to shout out the two LARPers in his YouTube chat yesterday talking as if they're in a boardroom meeting. Shout outs to those legends.
That's funny.
Big ups. Mr. Extravagant says, right when he's starting getting paid hourly, he all of a sudden could not end his streams. I suppose that's just a coincidence too.
Okay. I actually have to, I see where Homeboy's going with that. Ever since the hourly situation, I think DSP does set himself up to make sure he gets a certain amount of hours in each day, or if he's falling short on gifted memberships or memberships on Kick, he uses that as compensation. I was actually kind of letting that float in my noodle a little bit too, or I was pondering it, I should say. So I appreciate someone actually putting that out there, because I do kind of agree with that too. Now, granted, I could also understand the other side of that argument if it comes up, that it may be DSP just desperate to hit the goals. And I do think that's a byproduct. So one could make the argument it's just overtime altogether. Hey, can I hit these goals? Can we hit the actual tip goal or the King's Tax or whatever the fuck it's called? And if I can squeeze another hour of overtime, hourly, why not? And so on and so forth.
Well, he's not ending his streams more often because, listen, he's ending his streams are going longer than ever because he's not hitting the goals. That's just OT time, right? I think that is what he's talking about more than he's staying later for the overtime more than anything else, right?
So what all's saying is that it's not about the 9 to 5 aspect of it. He's just staying overtime to get the goals, but he is benefiting from the 9 to 5 aspect of it. So that's the thing. And that's another thing too. If you're in the partner program and you get paid hourly like that, do like this. I don't think there is an overtime because like actual overtime, because if there were, people would just stream 24/7 at that point. But I do wonder, is there a threshold of how many hours you're required to make or you're required to put in? And is there like some type of incentives or perks if you did stream 50 hours a week or whatever? I'm just curious. I mean, it's a gambling website, so trust me, it's not like money's in short supply. Speaking of which, I'm not happy to admit this. This is Milf and Cookie's fault. But I have been keeping up with the WNBA, mainly this Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese rivalry, which isn't a rivalry, by the way, and I don't know why people try to push that bullshit, because it's not. Like, Caitlin Clark is fucking leaps and bounds above what fucking Angel Reese is. Does Angel have potential? If she can get her head out of her ass and off of Instagram, maybe. Maybe. But other than that, to see the baby giraffe go for fucking 12 rebounds and shit off of her own shots are kind of ridiculous. I'm sorry. It's kind of ridiculous. And I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'll save that for when we get a stream going for any of you guys who are covering it or who are watching it. But that's not a rivalry. Jesus Christ, it's not a rivalry. It's really not. And good God, New York needs to do something. Let's get to the NBA for a minute. New York needs to do something before Indiana just sweep that ass. Holy shit. Before the Pacers come in and clean up. They need to do something fast. Help. Help. They need help. Anywho, I thought I'd just throw that out there for random. All right, here we go.
Good. Philip is in chat now. Good morning, all. Jericho says, people way overestimating DSP. Remember the snake inning. That's why I always, if there's an option that is Philip being stupid rather than smart, I always choose that one because he doesn't think about things too long, guys.
And I agree, and don't get me wrong, I understand that. Like I said, I've been accused of that. I've been accused of giving DSP too much credit or overthinking a scenario and trying to fit in, thinking that DSP could even follow my plan, because clearly he wouldn't. But the thing is, though, is I would also say, one, you should never underestimate your opponents. Two, I don't think it's that deep in that to think that DSP is trying to stress test or try to play the system or try to get over. I don't think it's really that deep. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely not 4D chess. You know what I'm saying? This isn't 220 chest here or 220D chest here. It's really not that. You know what I mean? At least not the way I view it. I think it's a scumbag looking for corners in a circle. It's really as open and shut as that, to be honest with you.
He's not the kind of guy that has long-term plans about anything. Eh? That's what I think.
But see, now I got to come back. Now I got to do it. I got to chase it. Because Alt put out the whole thing about, oh, well, remember when this situation came up? Oh, well, that's situational. That was during this thing. Oh, what about this thing? Oh, well, that yet again is situational. That's this thing. The same thing could be applied to this too. You know what I'm saying? And that's why that situational stuff starts to get murky. You got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to think ahead a little bit, because if you go ahead and you try to squeeze everything in, you know what I mean? Or you try to compartmentalize depending on what you feel that fits better than others, then it gets ugly or it gets weird. So anyway, I don't know. I'm really interested to see how this court thing will happen over the summer and shit. Because this would be definitely an interesting topic if whatever it was that they were talking about. But anyway, yeah. So that's my thoughts on that shit. But I do firmly agree that DSP does not think in the long term at all. He certainly cannot see past his snout, past his hoof. That's why he doesn't have no savings. That's the reason why I think he doesn't go on vacation, because he just doesn't want to go on vacation with Cat. He just wants to live and die comfortably, if you want to call him living. If you want to call that living, it's not living, it's really existing. But I think he just wants to exist somewhat comfortably in his little fucking place in his office. You know what I'm saying? His house isn't a home. You know what I'm saying? The rest of in his office, he controls everything. The rest of his home is just, it's like any other part of the office building that's not his cubicle or his quote unquote actual office. To be honest, it's the only place where I think he can really be himself. I think he's uncomfortable even around Kat. And because it's not a real relationship, it's just two people existing. It's two roommates sharing a space with each other. You know what I'm saying? There's no love there. There never was. It was two desperate people that needed each other in a situation, and they were just fortunate enough to come together. In the story.
Reddit. Big Dog says, you're telling me that Phil forgot to do a step that pays him less? Now, I understand that is true. Him not doing this step usually would involve him getting more money, right? But if he does it too long, they would cancel. I think they would say, all right, fuck you, right? So I just think it's a forgetful thing. I really think it's a forgetful thing.
Then why risk it then? Because let's say if we go with the forgetful angle, when they demonetize him, he's still going to make himself out to be the victim to them and to the rest of us as a whole. So he's really only screwing himself. If he's doing it on purpose, just as a stress test, he's still going to play victim. Hey, I yet again, I apologize, guys. I stream 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Fuck all, fuck all. I don't get a chance to spend time with my wife. Fuck all, fuck all. These haters and trolls and detractors and everything are always at my neck. Fuck all, fuck all. And you know what I'm saying? He's gonna still spin the story no matter what. Doesn't matter what angle that he approaches it. Either which way, he's still gonna make himself the victim. You know what I'm saying? DSP is the type of idiot to try to if it's much easier to lie to you than to tell you the truth. You're telling me that he wouldn't try to get over on Kick, even in the short term, just to see what he could get away with later? And I know that we just had the discussion about long-term planning or whatever. This isn't long-term planning. What can he get away with today? Can he get away with that today? If he can, then he may try to do it tomorrow. He may do it after that. That's not long-term planning. That's what, you know what I'm saying? A child thinks like that. Did you have a good day at school today? Yeah. So what do you think about tomorrow? I'm thinking about having a good time at school tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about next year. They're not thinking about college. You know what I'm saying? Fucking A, you can't even get a kid. Most kids, you can't even get them to really be excited outside of Taco Tuesday or Pizza on Friday. I think they're really thinking about what Sunday dinner is going to look like. They know dinner is going to be there, but they don't know what it's going to be. Not really excited about it. It's all about the journey throughout the day for a child, let alone to the destination. Darkside feels that same way. If he can get away with it on Monday, and while he's drinking himself to sleep and shit, he's going to feel special. Okay, well then maybe I can try this again on Tuesday. Okay, they caught me on Tuesday. Okay, no problem. Sorry about that. Say sorry. And whatnot. Okay, they got me. Let's see what happens on Wednesday. That's all I'm saying. I think that's what most people are saying, but that's all I'm saying in particular.
And if the guy said, if you keep doing it, you don't get paid anything, that's a direct negative to forgetting it.
But yet he's still quote unquote forgetting it. We're up to 2 times, possibly 3 at this point. So where's our breaking point? And don't get me wrong, you can bend before you break, but when's our breaking point? Especially when DSP doesn't really see a threat. He's telling you, oh, if this keeps happening, we're not gonna pay you. And yet he keeps getting an automated message. An automated message that he himself is conscious enough to realize that it is automated. On top of that, it says check your email. He didn't even bother doing it because he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing was wrong. He didn't even bother checking the email. He already knew what it was. I don't think that's forgetfulness. I think he's just testing the system. He's just testing to see what he can get away with.
Right? That's not a positive thing. It's a direct negative.
Dad, did we forget that DSP has a gambling addiction? Did we forget DSP has a spending addiction? Did we forget that he has a gotcha addiction? You know what I'm saying? Like, name one thing in DSP's life that's positive. I mean, damn, look at how he ain't fattening up Cat. Was that a positive for him? The dude barely talks to his parents. Is that a positive? The dude doesn't have a friend in the world that he could talk to. Because I just heard that him and Brian had they didn't have a falling out per se, but he unfollowed Brian on Twitter, or he blocked him. Not even that. He didn't even unfollow him. He fucking blocked Brian on Twitter. Is that a positive? I mean, let's not act like we make good decisions here in fucking Goutopia. Let's not act like good decisions happen on that side of the vortex.
We'll see. Hopefully it happens again. Hopefully we get some action out of this and we'll know the truth. We'll know the truth. Robert Williams says, if Phil gave up easy money as quick as losing Kick would be, he wouldn't have done years of K-pop reacts.
Okay, that's the Slayer shit. Okay, let's be honest. Was the Slayer thing really easy money? Yes, it was a guaranteed $50 or $100 or $150 a month, however many videos Slayer wanted him to do. But DSP was annoyed by that throughout that whole saga. And you could kind of see as time was going on, he was coming up with more and more reasons on not to do it. They were subtle. Like, he would sit there and say during the pre-streams or the daily therapy session, hey man, I got all this stuff going on and I want to spend more time with my wife, but I can't because, you know, we got all this editing going on for this channel. I'm doing the live reaction stuff here. I got to do the Patreon goals. Or pay me ton goals and this, that, and the third. And it was all over the place. He was saying that he was uploading stuff and it was immediately getting flagged because it was copyrighted music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a bunch of different times where he was sending out the signal that it was inconvenient. He wanted the money to keep coming through, but let's be honest, after a while, he didn't want to do it. Matter of fact, didn't he say towards the end of that all those K-pop songs just sound the same? Now, obviously, you would hear that from a racist, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he was getting to that point where it's like, oh, it all sounds the same anyway, whatever. If I've done one reaction, I've done them all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't anything that DSP was interested in, and if DSP was smart, he's not smart. But if he was smart, but he's not smart. But if he was smart, but he's not smart, he would just have Cat react to them. Oh, shit. He would have just had Cat react to him. It'd have been easy peasy lemon squeezy under those circumstances. But that's just me.
Good point. See? You're starting to get it. I feel some people are turning.
Your Honor, I feel like the defendant or the defense is leading the witness. Just saying.
Some people are starting to see the light, and they understand how lazy Philip really is. When he finds a way to do easy money, he doesn't say bye to that easy money very easily.
Depends on the circumstances. I think the defense needs to reevaluate and reassess what they've said previous in their deposition. Just saying. just saying.
Quickly. Slideshow has started.
All right. Okay. Big ups to Diggs. And big ups to Alt and WPIG. Big ups to that being said. Big ups to my man Diggs. Well, this was fun. I gotta say, this was fun. Like I said, I'm working on my own video as such. That'll be out at some point. So that's a thing. This will be up tomorrow morning because Diggs is already like, yo, I need you to send the shit to me as soon as you're done. So I'm going to. Fun stuff. That was a fun little thing. I'm not sure if that court thing that he was talking about it is a thing that they're gonna do during the summer, but I'm sure they'll talk about this on one of their episodes of that being said before that. But if that's something that can be argued in court, though, that might be a nice little event, though. That might be fun. Anywho, let's see here. How should we end this? I think we should end it like any other good attorney or a defense attorney should end it, and should be a drink involved. And that's the evening anyway for me anyway. So, so anyway, big ups to Alt, big ups to Raw Phil, and big ups to Diggs. All right, so closing arguments, I guess. Sorry, let me let Alt have his thing. Closing thoughts, and then we'll move on. And I'll let you guys go. I don't put nothing past DSP, to be honest with you, especially when it comes to lying, scheming, trying to get over on people and whatnot. This isn't something brilliant, to be honest with you. You think DSP was the first person to try to play the system like this? No, not at all. I'm sure he's one of many people who've tried. to be honest with you. And that's probably why the automated system is set up the way it is. There may be a set number that they do so. People are generally forgetful or lazy, so it's very possible. That's why the automated system is set up instead of an administrator down your motherfucking throat. Maybe there's a certain amount of times, maybe there's a counter on each account that, hey, this person has missed this many days consecutively doing it, or they've had this many times missed in a, let's say in a quarter, whatever, what have you. Either way, as DSP is doing this, he's gathering information, and it's very clear that he himself knows, hey, they're doing me the solid, they're doing this favor, reminding me, I don't think they're going to do this forever. Him saying that consciously tells me that he's doing this on purpose. So we'll see. It can be played off as, oh, he's just being forgetful. But I think this is something he's doing on purpose. But yet again, I could be wrong. It's not my first time, and it could be my last, and whatnot. And if none of the previous mistakes on my end broke me, then this won't break me either. But either way, still a fun discussion either which way. Yeah, a fun discussion either which way. But that's my thoughts. And like I said, I'll leave the rest of what I'm thinking for another project later on down the line. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Snort Report, and this has been DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes? A GTG Network and Productions. For the Snort Report, SNORTBUCKS Coffee Company, Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, Tim Snortons, and the rest of our affiliates and associates, and whatnot. Big ups to Chio. I've been your host / anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, my people. Take care of yourselves, my people. And the broadcast.